Alright guys, welcome back to Fairfield Mall. We're back in Canada. Well, we've been up here. And you remember, guys, I filmed this Hudson's Bay a couple years ago. But now that it's closing as the whole company is going belly up, let's go inside and let's go check it out. By the way, guys, I love this. Hello everybody, yes, you heard that right. Welcome to St. Catarines, Ontario, Canada. And this is my first Hudson's Bay closing video that I have. The reason why I say first is because I've been to a couple of these. And honestly, it's kind of sad, for those of you guys who don't know what Hudson's Bay is, it is a Canadian department store chain that's been around since the 1600s. Now, this particular store was not, but the company as a whole been around since the 1670s, so that's a long time. That's 350 years, and it's quite sad to see it go. Now, they've had some bad leadership for many years, and I have, and the best way to describe this store is, if you guys remember Lord and Taylor stores that were in the United States for a long time, it was very similar. And that's because for about 15 years or so, from the mid-2000s until almost till they went out of business, till about a year or so where they went out, this company owned them. And so that's kind of interesting. And, this store has everything you need: home, clothes, shoes, little appliances for the kitchen, most things. The only thing really doesn't have is like your big appliances and your big tools. But other than that, and from the people I was talking to when I was here, they've been shopping here for decades, generations, and they're very emotional to see it go. And that's why I'm glad I was able to put this on video for you guys. And even though it's in another country, this is only 45 minutes from my house, as I'm really close to the Canadian border. So it made me really cool. Now, also, you guys will see Zellers there, too, on your left. You guys saw that was another chain. That was a discount store chain, similar to, like, Ames, Kmart, you name it. And they went out as full-line stores about 10 or so years ago, back when Target came into Canada, which ended up being a horrible disaster. But that's not put into this video. But in any event, Hudson's Bay bought the right to Zellers, and just about 2-3 years ago, they started selling Zeller products, home and friend for kids, inside of their store. So that was pretty cool to see, as I never got to see a Zeller store, obviously. But in any event here, it's sad, like I mentioned, these stores have been here for a long time. This one is pretty much original to the mall. It's been here for decades, and it's sad to see it go. And, to the employees that work here, I wish them nothing but the best in their future endeavors. Luckily, the Canadian economy as well, and they do better when it comes to retail than the United States does anymore. Every mall I've been to is not dead. I've never seen a dead mall in Canada. I don't want to say they don't exist, because I've only been to a small part, but this part of it, I've never seen a dead mall. So if they like retail, they can definitely stay. This mall in itself is very healthy that it's in. But only time will tell. And same thing for what happens for the space, too. Only time will tell. Although I don't see it sitting empty for that long. That's another thing, too, about Canada. They don't tend to have vacancies for super long like we do down in the States. Like, even to find a Sears Canada empty is becoming really hard. Much harder than it is to find Sears here in the United States empty. But yeah, so as I said, only time will tell if this space. I hope it becomes something nice, and I hope it stays as a potential retail. I don't want it to become storage or something dumb that they don't need, but we'll see. I may do a visit, but anyway, I'm going to stop talking and using the rest of the video. I hope you guys enjoy the look, and stay tuned for all the videos I have coming up next, including 3 more Hudson's Bays. That's right, I filmed 3 more over 2 trips, and I'll maybe make it to a couple more before they close. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a video here, because I do have to come back here, and I do have to pick up fixtures that I purchased, of course. Of course I purchased fixtures, and why would I not? But anyway, for serious, this time I'm going to sign off and film music in. If you guys do enjoy, you know the drill. Make sure to hit like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys real soon. Live from St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. Alex Ryan Jenner's out, and I'll talk to you guys real soon. Bye-bye, guys.